So, listen, this next guy, he doesn't really need an introduction, which is good, because I don't really have one written. Is that my cue? Ladies and gentlemen, this right here. This handsome devil is Jake Abel. Hi, DC! And we're going to be very capable and handsome hands.
We'll see about that. Get up and loud and swing. Kiss the man. Thank you guys. No, take your time. Take your time, we're all. Just take your time. No, take your time. How are you guys doing? Good. Normally I would come out here and do a real big, super kick-ass jump, but I'm in my mid-30s now, and I went on a very flat hike a few days ago, and hurt my lower back. So Daddy's working through some things. And so that's why we did a little teeny tiny jump today. But I think it worked out very well. So here's the thing, I see some people lined up. I'm gonna need y'all to think of some questions or some thoughts. I'm gonna need you to line up on these microphones. Otherwise, it's just gonna be me up here talking about my nipples or some dumb shit. Yeah. Not to encourage you to push me into that, but I would appreciate it. Let's get started. Do we have someone over here? Thank you so much. You're my favorite person of the convention. You know what? I want to come down here and give you a high five. Maybe encourage some of these other cowards to get up here. What's your name?
My name is Summer. My friends know me as Marie, but you can call me whatever you want.
Damn! Now, here's the thing. Now, oh my God. My panels tend to get a little horny. If you follow any of my panels on the interwebs, and you just fucking kicked it off with them. Hey. All right, Summer.
See, the first person to interact with your tweets, it's not me.
It's not you. Okay.
So my question for you is, what is the best life advice that you've ever gotten, or like the best life lesson that you've ever learned?
Like I said, I've been alive for 35 years. I ain't learned shit. The first thing that pops into my head was the very, very start of my career. So a few years ago, I was 15 and a half-ish, and I had just booked my first job on a TV show called Summerland, which was on like WB, had Zac Efron back in the day, before High School Musical, and so I was there with my mom, and we were in the back lot, and there was just like a transpo guy or guy in the crew, he had like a long ponytail, really cool dude. He was just like sitting in his truck, and I was like, yes, and I was talking to him, and yeah, this is my first thing, and he goes, let me give you some advice. I said, okay. He goes, drop your egos. I said, what? Drop your egos. I said, looked at my mom, and I was like, you telling me to drop my egos? What the hell does that mean? And he goes, drop your egos. I was like, oh, he wasn't saying I had one. He was saying, if you want to keep going doing this, just make sure you drop your egos. And I was like, oh shit, that's good advice. Because he's probably on the show with a bunch of, I hadn't done anything, so I hadn't earned an ego yet. It was just like he was sort of saying in the future, just be humble. Be humble, come to work, and have a good time. And he's always just kind of stuck in my head anytime I've ever gotten a bit like, I deserve something. I just think, Jake, drop your egos. There you go.
All advice, thank you.
Thank you. All right. We popped our cherry and we are on the move, guys. Let's keep going.
Hi, Jake. How are you?
Good, how are you?
That was my question.
I'm sorry, Christian.
So a recent con, Felicia Day talked about how sometimes people come up to her and have tattoos of her on their person. So what I want to know is, if we were to find out that Jake Abel had a celebrity tattoo, what would that tattoo be? Where would we find that to? Why would we do this?
I love it.
Well, this is what I do. I get on stage and I invite these things. And I couldn't be happier. If I had a celebrity tattoo, I would have the creation of Adam.
Oh, God.
You know, where God's all like in the clouds like this. Where'd you go? I was answering your question. Oh. God's all in the clouds like this. Adam's all like this. But it would be Jared and Jensen reaching across my thighs. It took a lot of time and be very painful. But anytime I set spread eagle in a pair of shorts, you would know. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. What's your name?
Beth.
Ben. Hi.
Okay, so we're going to start with the test.
I did not study.
OH.
I.O.
Correct. My question for you is this. I know you, at least one point before you probably got into all the childbearing, very much a baker. A lot of supernatural...
I can't have children. It works.
So, other supernatural fans are also fans of our Flag Means Death. And as you may know, Samba Shoe, who is coach on that show, is a huge in-real-life baker. And he was recently a part of Gish. Could we ever in the future see a baking cook-off between Jake Abel and Samba Shoot?
Maybe. I've done Gish. I baked on Gish last Halloween.
Right in Mish's mind. I think that would be amazing.
I'm down to bake off. I made Pop-Tarts that were in the shape of coffins for Gish during Halloween. Yeah. You can make your own Pop-Tarts at home. I would love to. Someone asked me today about Jake and Bake, which is a cooking show I did during quarantine. My favorite though was Jake and Shake, which was my drinking show that I did on Fridays. That was fun. Yeah, I think that would be great. It just ended though, didn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
Now you have time to practice.
So I have time to prepare and practice for next year. Yeah, tell Misha to call me. We'll do it.
All right, exactly.
Thank you. Hello.
How you doing, Doug?
I'm good. You look cool as hell.
Thank you. I tried. So I'm going to give you your inevitable Percy Jackson question.
Great. Let's do it. Let's get into it.
So, for people around my age, Percy Jackson was a big, basically my question is, how does it feel to be such, a big part of, a lot of, socially inept people in their 20s, childhood? Percy Jackson. I have no friends, but Percy Jackson got me, though.
It's like, I was just talking about this. I feel like there's almost been an influx of Percy fans in my life too. It's been awesome. It's like I never would have guessed back then that it would carry this far. So much so that when I'm on set now, I'm now working with people your age that are coming up to me and being like, oh man, I grew up watching you. I'm like, shut up! They're still growing up, and so am I. It's shocking to be it was a part of kids' childhoods. And even when we were doing it, we were always, when we did the press tours, having young kids come out and read has been the coolest thing. And the fact that because I love to read. And my kid's only a year and a half, and we read to him every day, all day long. It's so important to us. So that's been awesome to just see that, even though you might be socially inept, at least you can read. Literacy is sexy as fuck. But yeah, no, I'm super grateful. Thank you for being a fan. I'm glad that we could help be your friend. And keep looking cool as shit. Thank you. Hi. You look cool as shit too. This is an equal opportunity now today. I can't not.
My name is Alyssa. I wanted to ask you if you could be any supernatural like monster or other type of character, what would you be?
If I could be any other supernatural character or monster, who would I be? That's a good question. Do you know who you would be if you could be someone from the world?
No.
You don't?
I want to be a witch.
You what?
I would be a witch.
A witch. A witch would be cool. What would I be? I want to be. I think a shapeshifter would be cool.
Yeah.
You know, like I try to do that for a living anyway. But to actually be good at it. Yeah, I think being a shapeshifter would be cool, but I think that would also be really dangerous if you could just like look like whatever you wanted. But that's my a shape-shifting witch. Is who I would be. I guess that may be a warlock. That'd be a warlock. Is that how that works? Anyway, shape-shifting witch. Thank you.
Hi, Jake.
Hi.
I'm Larissa. I'm a first timer and I'm from Germany. So I flew around 4,000 miles to get here. And I'm really excited. And I would first like to tell you that you're actually my absolutely favorite episode of all time. It's the episode where Adam is first introduced. It's like for 19 Jump the Shark.
Yeah, it's everyone's favorite episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very special to me. I really enjoyed the episode. I would just like to mention it. And my question is, apart from the episodes you've been in Supernatural, which episode would you have loved to be in?
The Scooby-Doo episode. I think to be animated would have been pretty sweet. Yeah, I had nothing clever in the Scooby-Doo episode. Is it Danke? Is that thank you in German?
Yes, danke.
Danke.
You're welcome.
I'm supposed to go to Germany for the first time maybe this year, and definitely next year. And Dortmund and Düsseldorf.
Yeah, we're at the German Comic Con. I've been to the Purgatory Convention this year, and I absolutely love all of you. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, thank you
That's
for coming.
awesome.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you. Thank you so much. That is a two long lines. You're getting double teamed today. Hey, Jake's panel. I know some people backstage are going. AQ naughty one. Hey, how's it going?
Okay, so my question was for hypothetical. So if you could be any Greek god in the new Percy Jackson series, which one would you be?
Hermes. I think it makes the most sense. Come back and play my own father. Yeah, that's some meta stuff right there. Yeah, I would love to play Hermes so much. I just think the author just kind of wants the TV shows to be separate from the movies, which you know, I guess I understand. But that's who I would choose. I would choose to play my own father, and then do scenes with myself. That's it. Done it Supernatural, did it on Netflix. Just keep doing it. Thank you.
Okay, so last time I asked if Adam or Michael was the Alpha or Omega, so I have something kind of...
That was you?
It was.
Welcome back.
Yeah. So no, my question this time is kind of a subsect of that. What is Adam or Michael's sexy time playlist? Like, what are the songs like?
Sexy time playlist? Because see, someone asked me a similar question, might have been at that convention, and I said it was Now That's What I Call Music 5 or whatever. But it had like Shoot and stuff on it. So it was a good one. And then Michael's sexy time playlist while in the cage would be Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill, front to back, singing every fucking word. Because you know it's like angsty, and you know what I mean? It's raw. They hit that shit raw. I'm so sorry if there are children in the audience. It always only occurs to me when I'm at like, you know, at my table signing, and a child steps up, and my parents like, "We loved your panel." And I was like, "You were in the panel?" There's a child who's in the panel. So don't listen to me, kids. Read your books. Don't be like me. Thank you. Yeah, the Alpha and Omega thing. What was that? Jersey.
Okay, that's good.
Jersey.
Jersey this year, right? Yeah.
Nodded myself up in that one, didn't I? Oh, I don't know the rules is the problem. Okay, good. Hi.
My question is, out of like any TV show that you've watched that you love, what character would you love to play, and why?
Man. Do you have one first of all? It's hard, isn't it? It's tough. You knew your question.
I don't know the answer to it.
I know, it's tricky. Okay, any character from a TV show. Well, I would want job security, so Sam or Dean, right? 15 years. That's really tough. I'm trying to think of like what I've watched recently. There's so much stuff out there. I find it hard to like keep up with stuff. We're just talking about The Boys and how I haven't seen Jared Jensen's ass yet. I know. Like, how do you not like run to see that? But I haven't. They were making I haven't seen it, when they were casting Lord of the Rings, that seemed like a fun world to have been in. And I love New Zealand. So maybe someone from Lord of the Rings, which I haven't seen. The TV show. Yeah, that's my answer.
Okay,
Thank you. You're what?
I'm Grace.
Great, so thanks if you're nervous.
No, not good. Today is my 23rd birthday.
Happy birthday. You don't look a day over 25.
So my question is, what would be Adam's ideal way to spend his birthday with my friends?
Oh, that's nice. Adam's ideal way to spend his birthday with my friends. Well, they would do what I like to do on my birthdays. Back when I lived in LA, they would get up, they'd go to their little favorite breakfast place. They'd have blueberry ricotta pancakes and a couple of mimosas. And then they'd go to the local bookshop around the corner, and Michael would buy Adam whichever book he wanted. And then they would go up to the Griffith Observatory, and they'd walk around the observatory and go in and see the little show about the creation of the universe. And then they'd go home and smash. Standing down.
I think we all really love the Hot Ones video you did between Michael and Adam.
Thank you. If you haven't seen it, I sold some hot sauce, some Adam and Michael hot sauce. That was my favorite thing ever. And I spoofed this YouTube show, Hell Ones, and did it between Adam and Michael trying each other's sauces. It's still on the internet if you want to go watch it. Anyway.
I was wondering if you could give us a little bit of an interaction between Michael and Adam.
Ooh, no one's ever asked that. Usually I make you pay for it. Okay, what's the scenario? You gotta give my scene, I'm just an actor.
You guys are in the cage, and Michael is getting sick of Lucifer, so you let Adam take over and see what happens.
What's wrong? Oh, you think you know what's wrong? Did I do something? No. Hey, it's the nice one over there. Percy. Oh, yeah. Hey, Elizabeth. Does he give you trouble? Isn't he always? All right. Let me talk to him. No, you don't have to. No, let me talk to him. You really don't have to. Let me talk to him. Hey! Stop messing with my friend. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What are you going to have to deal with me? Idiot. And scene. That was fun. It's really great.
Hi, my name's Dawn.
Hi, Don.
This is my first con.
Grace, Dawn, Summer. This is a very bright.
This is my first con. I was wondering if you have any memories or from your first con that you remember, if you were nervous or excited, or what your thoughts were.
Terrified. My first con was Vancouver. Right after I had, my first episode was just aired, I think. And, it was a whole thing playing the third brother. And I was terrified. I knew even at that point, that early on in the season, that the fan base loved the boys. It was only the boys, all about the boys. And then here I come, hi, I'm your third brother. And it was awesome. The room was packed all the way. It was a room, in my mind, it was twice as big as this room. And people weren't standing room. It was packed. And people were so stoked. And I had the best time. I got so drunk the night before. And I knew I shouldn't do it. But I was excited and nervous. And I was like, whatever. But then everyone gave me their energy the whole next day. And it totally wiped away all those fears. I remember being on stage the first time and coming out. Because you don't really see through that. So it's a surprise as to who's out here. And to be hit with all the lights and all the people. It was wild. It was wild. So, it's cool. And I can't believe that after all these years, we're still going strong. What a fucking awesome fan base you guys have. Seriously. It's so cool. They called me 10:30 p.m. on Thursday. Usually I'm in bed. But we were staying up watching the Industrial Light and Magic documentary series.
Yeah.
And I had with my phone, they were like, can you come to DC tomorrow morning? And I was like, I can actually, yeah. I'm actually home. And I always get so excited when they do. Because I only plan a few throughout the year. And then whenever someone needs to bow out, you should get if I'm free, will come. And it's always so exciting to have the best time. So yeah, thank you. Thanks.
So I actually have a follow-up question to a question you were asked several years ago that you probably don't remember.
Did you ask the question or
I
somebody?
did not.
Okay.
Someone asked if anyone ever came up to you on the street and recognized you and said, hey, asswipe. You said you would love it if they did. Did that come back to bite you in the ass?
You know what hasn't? That's kind of disappointing. How is nobody just shouting this at me from across the street, which is how I would prefer it. It's just to be minding my own damn business. And just hear, hey, asswipe! I have mad respect. But I had, just yesterday, checked the landing, checked into our hotel, and the guy at the front desk was like, hi, welcome, sir. ID. So you still thinking about kicking Percy Jackson's ass? I knew something was coming. I know something was coming. There it is. So that actually happens more than ass button. So, hey, feel free. You see me walking around today, just give me a shout. Especially you. Thank you.
My name is Jay. And my question is, what has been your most embarrassing moment in your acting career so far?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't generally get embarrassed, I don't think. Maybe it's a lack of pride, I've just been beaten into the ground. So let me try to think of for a moment, of most embarrassing. Famously on this show, having a Molotov cocktail thrown at your nipple, and then that being made into a meme. It's pretty great. And then Jared trapping me in the diner, farting, yelling, I am Farticus. don't know if that was more embarrassing for him or me. Sure, it didn't embarrass him. But it was shocking. Yeah, I wish I had a better embarrassing story. I'm gonna like put it. I'm gonna let it sort of marinate in the background, and if one pops in my head, I will shout it out.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a long story about being on the Percy Jackson tour and how I'll never be as cool as Pierce Brosnan. Never. Like, the Sparkman's version of it was, we showed up to the airport, we're all flying together to go to Greece and then London to do a press tour. I show up, I'm the only one who doesn't have a ticket on the plane. And I was like a last minute addition to the press tour. They weren't gonna bring me, and then I was at Chris Columbus's house after we had just screened the movie in San Francisco. And he was like, hey, why don't you come on tour with us next week? I was like, oh, great. And I think someone forgot to book me a ticket. And so, but they got me on the plane. It was all good. And then I get on the plane, I take like a Tylenol PM, which does not have the desired effect. Instead of putting me to sleep, and then you say I have to sweat for like 12 hours. Meanwhile, Pierce Brosnan's in his PJs in the front of the plane, just sleeping. I'm sweating the whole time through. I wake up, somehow Pierce Brosnan's already shaved, got back into his clothes, and sitting in the front of the plane again with an espresso. It's like, what? And I'm just a mess with this beanie and sweat. We go get our luggage. They lost my luggage, everybody else's. Meanwhile, we're like, wait, where did Pierce Brosnan go? We had connected to London Heathrow. He met a friend who had a private jet, took his private jet to Greece. Okay, so I'm now in Greece, no luggage. Pierce Brosnan's nowhere to be found. I have no clothes. I'm a sweat box of mess. I'm disgusting. Everyone else goes to the hotel. They have to take me to a mall to find some clothes. Now, I'm not going to generalize the Greek people, but I'm built differently. Hands were not long enough. Shoes were not big enough. I managed to scrounge together this outfit that my wife hated. It was like this Marilyn Monroe and like red Chuck Taylors. She hated it. Like when I brought it back home, I was like, this is like what I had to wear for an entire day. And I went to finally met everyone at dinner in my stupid outfit, and they're all like eating this 10-course meal, and Pierce Brosnan's at the end of the table, like, hey, welcome. I was just like, this sucks. I'll never be as cool as Pierce Brosnan. I'll be a gross, sweaty mess. I'll be your gross, sweaty mess.
Sorry. If you could have chosen a different career path, what would you have done instead of acting?
There is no plan B. For better or for worse. You know, it's like, it sounds lame, but I think it's why I chose this profession, was probably because I couldn't choose anything else, and it's the one job that lets me kind of do all of them. That's my favorite part about this, is getting to learn new things. Whether it's Greek mythology, or one time I got to learn to use an acetylene torch and like cut a car in half. It's badass. I would have had to go to like schooling for that. They just let me show up. They handed it to me. So it's the one job that lets me do everything. Okay, let me try to answer this. Does it have to be outside of entertainment industry?
No.
Oh, it could be inside the entertainment industry. I'd be, shit. I would be, what? Stripper. What's that? One more time? What'd she say? You would pay! Honey, I wouldn't charge you. Her phone is just like rolling 4K, just like give it to us, Jay. Give it to us all. Your mother's gonna see this, but she does sometimes.
I'm Rowena, and my question is, if you could spend a day with Adam, what would you do and where would you take him?
A like to spend the day with family. Well, I think we'd probably go on like a bar crawl up for food, right? And let's see, yeah, I would take him to my strip club. I would take, we would go on like a food sampling tour in some city, wherever city we were. That's what we would do. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ivy. I have the Percy Jackson question. What do you think about the series being made?
What's that?
What do you think about the series being made?
The series?
The Percy Jackson.
The movie that Percy Jackson on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think, obviously, there's still an appetite to see these stories. People love them so much. I just wish they would give me a job. No, I'm excited. I think like the casting has been great, and I hope it turns out. All I hope is it turns out the way that Rick is it Ryan or Reardon? I don't even know. Ryan and Reardon. It's probably why he hates us. I hope it's closer to his vision. I think that I would like to see what his vision was. I saw his Twitter account post pictures from set, and I think they're filming in the same location we did, out in Golden Years Park in Vancouver. So that where Camp Half-Blood was, that was like an hour into this national park. And it was stunning. And they when Percy first gets introduced and they're walking around and everyone's doing crazy flips and stuff through. They built all that stuff. Those functional stunt guys and stuntmen and women were like flipping and doing all these things out in the woods. And then like when the helicopter pulls out with him and Annabeth are like doing that sword fight, like that. I mean, it wasn't CGI. That's exactly the way it looks out there. It's gorgeous. So I hope it turns out the way he always envisioned. Thank you.
Hello, Judson. J-U-D-S-O-N.
Hi, Judson.
Hi. I have a question. I've seen all of these supernatural episodes, including the ones that you were in. Have you ever spoken to any of the writers of the show and gotten a satisfactory explanation of why they let you rot in hell?
I actually do have the answer to that question. It didn't come from the writers, though. It came from Cliff, the boy's bodyguard. That wasn't even a joke. It didn't. So I always wondered too. And I was at a convention. This was only a few years ago I found this out. So we were at a convention, and Cliff and I were just kind of hanging out. And I brought that up, she was like, you should come back to the show. I was like, I would love to, but they've never reached out. And he goes, well, they did, but you gotta tell your agents to stop asking for $1 million. I said, wait, what? He was like, yeah, no, they tried, they wanted to bring you back a while ago, but your agents were asking for too much money. I was like, they never told me. They never told me. They didn't literally ask for $1 million, but they apparently had asked for so much money and didn't even ask my opinion of hey, this is what they're offering. We think it should be more. Do you want to take it? To which I would have been like, shut up, why are we talking about this? Say yes, let's go. And they blew it for me for years. They're fired. They don't run anymore. 4 years. And even if they had never brought me back to the show, I can't stand it. It happens a lot in our industry because you have people represented. You can get a bad reputation for stuff you don't even know happened. Conversations you didn't even know existed about it. And that was my biggest fears. Was just because I like these people. I don't want them to think that I'm sitting back being I'm better than all of you. No, I want to come play with my friends. And so I reached out to my reps at that time and told them what happened and said, look, just do me a favor, just call them and just let them know what happened in that I wasn't part of that, they're no longer representing me. And if they ever do come up with a storyline that makes sense for them to call us, and you guys better tell me. And they're like, of course. And it still took like 3 years, 4 years for them to sort of figure it out. And thank God we figured out what we did. However, I kind of like, it's become such a thing. Like you're up here asking me right now, like, why were you in hell for so long? And everyone's like, yeah! It's kind of great. It's kind of made something special for Adam of like this forgotten brother. So, you know, accept everything, deny nothing. It all worked out the way it should. I mean, yeah, it's like, that's how it happened. That's the dirt. The Hollywood gossip.
By the way, you might have noticed in the part, a very nice couple from Canton, Ohio, your hometown. Here in the audience, Lance and Tonya. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. What, did they give you the wheelchair?
No, they didn't give me the I got it on my own.
Okay. What did that do with Canton, Ohio?
They're from Canton, Ohio.
Got it. Got it. Great. Hey. Canton, Ohio in the house. Were you the OH person? No. You didn't say OH. You didn't say OH. That was somebody else. But you understood. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Jensen. Appreciate it. You guys still live in Canton, Ohio? I didn't appreciate it when I was younger.
Yeah.
Now, like, well, I have not died recently, but now when I go back, like, it's so beautiful. Parts of Canton. Yeah, they're so beautiful. Yeah, no, you know, there's like, there's trees, it's nice. What?
Peggy's.
What?
Peggy's candy.
Oh, I don't know that.
Not that part of Kansas.
Not that part of Canton. That's not our part of Canton. You go there. How's it going?
I'm Abel. First convention, by the way. Love you.
Welcome.
Love you, so that was me.
See, that's the one that hurts.
I was just wondering if you had like a holy shit, like I made it moment.
That what?
Like if you had like an I made it moment.
An I made it moment. No, I'm still waiting for that one. I mean, no, I think there's never been like there really genuinely probably hasn't been like an I made it moment. There have been like a series of pinch me moments and a series of like, I can't believe I get to be here and do these moments. You know, like getting to travel for work and being with friends. Like the last time I was here, we had this, a friend of ours gave us this great tour of DC at night, like of Congress and the Library of Congress, and that like those moments. All right, Mike, are you in here? Hey! And it was one of those moments where I'm just like, I can't believe that like my job led me to this thing that's such a wonderful experience I never would have thought of. It's those things that like you don't even think of that happen, and just being grateful for those moments. But then also like getting to work out in that national park. We did Percy Jackson, right? A place that didn't know existed. I get driven out there early in the morning one day, and I'm like, wait, this is where I'm going to work for like the next 3 to 4 weeks. This is what I get to do. And those moments I just try to be grateful for. Because I don't think you ever really make it in this industry. It never ends, right? There's always like a new thing. You know, it's like if you get a lot of money, suddenly you're like, okay, well now I live a different life, and I need more money for that. Like, it never ends if you don't just step back and go, I'm grateful for this. Tyler Hypotheticals had said that after the end of the show we did together. He had like done a couple episodes, and like his rap speech, he basically said, he goes, I don't judge the success of a TV show or a movie based on viewership or how much money it makes. I base the success on the time I had making it with the people making it. And I was like, that's it. Like that's it. Because they're not all great, they don't all stand out, you don't make friends in all of them. So it's important that you have those special ones, like Supernatural, that you just like remember to be grateful for the group of people that came together to make something.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. See, he's not just horny, he's sentimental too.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I was wondering if there's anything you regret not being to do as Adam or Michael on the show.
Being in more episodes, generally. No, I actually don't have any regrets with them. I think I think it was great what they came up with. I don't know if anyone else agrees, but I love doing scenes with myself. I'll do scenes with myself all day. But genuinely, it was that was such a unique thing and such a fun thing to work with Richard Spade on, because he directed the first episode that I got to do that on. And I brought him my ideas. I was like, this is how I want to do it. I don't want to rely on special effects to switch between them. I just want to do it in performance as much as possible. And he was like, I would love to try that. Let's go for that. And so I feel like I got a lot of room to play, to do really interesting things, all at the last minute, right all at the end. So, and I also think that that time away in hell, it made me think about, because when I would come to conventions, people would always, we workshop that at conventions. People would what do you think they're doing in the cage together, right? And so we would workshop, we genuinely workshopped all of my ideas in these conventions in the years that he was gone. And so that fed into the performance, their relationship, of what their relationship would have been after all those years and the things they experienced together, which is why I felt that they have a brother's bond for me. There's the Sam and Dean brothers bond. I think Adam and Mike also have a brother's bond. And it's because of all the things I talked to fans about, of what they thought happened down there. And so it was a strangely collaborative process with the fandom that it's in the performance. It couldn't not be. So yeah, I really don't regret. And I wish I could have done anything more, because I feel like they allowed them their story to be wrapped up in the way that made the most sense. It was still surprising with the snap of the fingers. I read that and I was like, God damn it, they're going. Thank you.
My name's Claire, and my question is, if you were stranded on an island and you had to pick one person from the past, who would you choose?
That's dangerous. Trying to stop fights. I'm going to say that, but not, because it might be backstage. No, Jake, don't. Think of something else, Frank. It wasn't bad, it was just because someone that we could eat. I was just thinking of something I could eat. Jason Mans, if you're back there, I would eat the shit out of you. Look at him! Look how sweet he is. Because Jason would go, I think you should eat me. That's why I would bring him. Not because I would look at him and be like, God, I want to eat that guy. I think Mans would go, you should probably eat me. So yeah, that's my answer. How about you?
How about me?
You?
Me?
You want me to bring you?
No. We'll meet you.
Will I meet you?
You probably will.
Uh-oh, we're veering off the tracks. I'm gonna end it right now, thank you. My Rose saw the fear in my eyes over there. No, Jake, back out.
Hi, I'm Brandy. So I probably am the definition of high anxiety. So my question is, do you ever feel like you can't do something or had anxiety stop you? And what advice would you give to kind of push through that?
I definitely internalize all my stress and anxiety. I have physical Tourette's, it's like body tics. I don't get them generally on stage or when I perform, which is really interesting. So if you ever see me do tics in a performance, I'm actually thinking about that, which is weird. So my anxiety is always manifested that way. And it's great, I've never been ashamed of it. My best friend has them too, so we've always kind of felt like that's a part of us. And then I know Billie Eilish kind of has really made that a huge thing of she's completely open about having her anxiety manifest that way. When I get tired, get rest, that's tired. If I'm tired, man, I'm ticking like crazy, it's awful, hurt my neck. So for me, it's just get rest, which is I'm sure not the case for that kind of anxiety. But also, I mean, as an actor, if ever I am nervous or in my head or whatever, it's about coming back to the breath. As a performer, it's always about coming back to your breath and finding, we call it, what do we call it, public solitude, right? Like having solitude even here in a public setting. Sam Smith had a great visual last night. She was talking about when she starts to get overwhelmed by someone who's like having a problem and it's like, you know, she immediately thinks of a clear bubble around her, like, and she goes, she's instantly, she's like, it's like I'm at the zoo, and I can go, oh, there's a gorilla there going crazy. Because you know you're safe at the zoo, right? The gorillas are going nuts. You're like, oh, there's last year, I'm safe, the gorillas are going nuts. And so she said she pictures this like bubble around her. I'm just sitting on stage. And I was like, that's an incredible visual. I'm gonna do that. So there you go. Take Sam Smith's clear bubble and watch the gorillas fight. Thanks.
My question is, what is your favorite book, and why does it have such a big impact on your life?
What's my favorite book?
Book.
And why does it what?
Have such a big impact on you.
Oh, okay. My favorite author of all time is John Steinbeck. Not only do I think he's the greatest American author of all time, for me, he's the greatest author of all time. It's completely subjective, but every time, so you know, like, so my favorite book would be Grapes of Wrath. Second one would be East of Eden. And these are thick books, and they're intimidating. But every time, hi guys, we're just talking about literature, so feel free to join me. And every time, so I'm like, I'll open the first page of one of his novels, and that first page, I go, I'm buying it. Every book of his I've read, the first page just grips me. And I don't know why, other than like some writing speaks to you and some doesn't. His way with prose I wish I could write that well. I wish I could like have my brain thinking those kinds of sentences. Because even though these are long books, that aren't sci-fi fantasy, I mean, they're like a real life down and dirty books, and they're fucking kicking ass. So like, John Steinbeck.
So what you're saying is that I have to write like that in order for you to read my books?
Yeah, I mean, just John Steinbeck level prose. No, not at all. That's great that you write. That's awesome. Keep doing it. Writing's hard. It's very hard. Thank you so much. Is that my time, guys?
It is. How was it?
It was great. Were you backstage? Just talking about cannibalism by any chance?
I was not.
We're good.
I'm curious.
Well, someone asked me if I had to go on a desert island with someone from Supernatural, who would I choose? And I saw your picture back here.
Oh, there's a lot of meat on these bones, yeah.
Which is what I didn't say.
No, I'll say it for you.
But you know what I did
for a
say?
long time.
You know, I did say, this picture, especially right here, this is a man who would, like a couple days in, look at me and go, I think you should eat me.
You're not, yeah, there you go.
I thought about it, I think you should just eat me.
That's
why I'll bring you to my desert island.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Thank you guys.